Howdy doody. Oh God. No, I'm not restarting. 12/6/2016 is the date. The time is 11:17 p.m. Have very slight heartburn. Not entirely sure why, since I don't eat heartburn in giving. Maybe that whole grain bread, actually. Who knows? I was just watching a documentary upstairs called Fat Chance. It was well, my first impression about it was it looked like it was filmed sometime in like the early to mid 2000s, because it had that sort of like there was this like a lot of the stuff shot around. Actually, this is more like late 90s to like early 2000s. A lot of it had like this. There's this sort of like whiteness quality to it. I don't know if it's just an effect of the film, but you know, it's hard to describe. A lot of Asian, like Asian horror. There was this movie called I can't. It was like this famous fucking Japanese Audition. The movie's called Audition, and the Audition looked exactly like this. Like there's some sort of like white glow to everything. I don't even know if it's a white glow, but. If I were ever going to shoot like a music video or something, why did I laugh there? That was so stupid. Yeah, that's what it would look like. You know, just that white glow. God, I don't know why I'm so like nervous right now. But you know, other than that, that's a sidetrack thing. Other than that, I thought it was all right. There was something about the main guy that it focused on that like he just seemed too far gone to me. Like there was just something unreachable about him. Like he was just like he was. I keep thinking of like cells, like the way that they differentiate themselves when they mature. Like he wasn't at the point anymore where anything you could ever say to him would reach him. You know, he was just who he was. And that's it. And like it started getting into like weird territory at the end with like this like fat acceptance thing. You know, it was just like it was very strange. There was this one guy though. There was a doctor, like a guy who was a doctor. He seemed way more reachable. I'm not making any sense. I know that. Because I, you know, sometimes I listen back onto these, and like everything I'm saying, there's just no context for, you know, understanding anything I'm saying. That's like, you know, I really wonder, like, how do people communicate at all? Like, there's like a 1% ever gets through, like during a conversation, like anything you say, it's like. There's so many things that you say that you would have to like add fucking like paragraphs of context for the other person to even register. And like, you know, there's just no way to effectively communicate. And I have no idea how it's done by anyone. You know, I mean, there is you know, you can get feelings out, like the feeling of what you're saying maybe, but it's just, you know, because one person saying something, it's like, I have no idea what you mean. There's just so much context missing from everything. And, you know, it's just always just this one little tiny grain of like, oh, okay, that must be what he means. But I have no idea how anybody just communicates with anybody else. Just because there's no way one person could possibly see all the information that somebody is saying in one go. There's just, I mean, it's like looking at a map of America as a first-time person ever looking at a map of America. And, oh, I know all 50 states now. You could never do that. That is impossible to do. You would have to look at the map for at least a week to, like, look at the state and then know what the state is. And know the 50 states. But, you know, that's like what we're expected to do. Or, I don't know, maybe I expect it from myself. Yeah, I mean, it's like in video games sometimes. Like, It's just, I think that's just my way of making things way more complicated than they need to be. But how is not somebody else? How is nobody else doing this? How is nobody else walking around realizing that anything that they see it's just a mishmash of fucking nothing that takes a long time of thinking about and fucking just, to have any idea of what you're looking at. It just it doesn't seem like anybody else does that. Just, there is the thing of like, you just focus on the things that but I don't know. I have no idea. What else did I do? That was the first 5 minutes of that was just a vague rambling. So, I should probably follow my own advice and be more specific and be more direct about what I'm saying. So watch the documentary Fat Chance. I don't even remember what I did before that. I said to myself, actually, that I was going to write lyrics again tonight because I'm on this thing now where I'm just going to write lyrics every night, no matter what they are. I'm just going to keep writing over and over and over the same set of lyrics until I get, like, a song. I got some pretty good lyrics because I remember Howard Bloom said that once, where you have to, because your approach is always going to be clumsy. Like, whenever you try to, like, do something. You're always going to have this clumsy approach, and the only way to really perfect anything is to keep going over something. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going over the lyrics over and over again. I think, this set of lyrics, actually, from the last night one, that was just god-awful. But this one seems to have something going on with it, so, I'll keep that going. Well, there was already some lyrics written for the song that I'm writing right now. I've got fucking excluding, because I already got the second song pretty much already written, but the first song is like halfway written, and after I write that one I have 8 more to do, because there's 10 songs on the album. I know. I was listening to my journal from like a couple days. It was like a week it was Pendulette journal. I don't know. I forget what it was. But I was saying my album and just putting myself in the position of somebody else, like listening to that, and it was like, ew. God, I don't know what's wrong with me tonight. I don't know what's wrong with me tonight. I can't like talk or feel anything genuine, and it's just, I'm like just rambling, and my mouth is just moving, and I'm not saying anything. I'm kind of tired because last night when I went to sleep, I was like, there was this fucking like every time my head was in a certain position, I was just, this happens almost every night, but it was especially bad last night. Like anytime my head was in a certain position, like I was getting this vertigo where I was like feeling like I was on a boat. I was getting like this, it felt like that sensation alone was like triggering my fucking adrenal glands or something. It was just making me really tense, and I was like, oh god, it was like woozy and tense, and it was just fucking, that's what I deal with that most nights because of my dumb inner ears that won't fucking heal. Actually, they seem to be healing. Like ever since I started eating better, they seem to have been healing. Like my face it was swollen like 2 weeks ago, but it's now good. There was a picture in that Fat Chance documentary of like, sometime, it had to have been sometime in like, well actually it might have been like, well because I said that documentary is shot in the 90s, but the picture, there was the guy in the sofa, but there was somebody next to him, and they were both drinking Cokes, and there's something about, just looks, I feel restricted in what I should say here. Anyway, no, the thin guy. There was a thin guy next to him, and he looked so unhealthy. There was just something so, like, fucking, like his skin was all gray and droopy, and he kind of looked like a vegetarian, actually. If you ever look at vegetarians, they look just completely unhealthy, and that's probably a bad thing, bad diet. I don't know. I have no idea. I have no medical background. Actually, I do. I have a lot of medical knowledge. I just don't have like a medical degree or anything. I'm stammering tonight, so This one wasn't that great, but the idea is that you press on and the beat goes on. Slim Jim, yeah. All right, goodbye.